In the shadow of the rugged Appalachian peaks, where the wind whispered secrets through ancient pines, a frail widow named Eliza clutched her lifeless son to her chest. The boy, barely 8 years old, had succumbed to a merciless fever that ravaged their isolated cabin. With no money for a proper burial and the ground frozen hard as iron, she trudged through the snow to the doorstep of old Harlan, the mountain man known for his solitary ways and unyielding demeanor. "Please," she begged, her voice cracking like brittle branches, "bury my child. I have nothing left but this grief." Harlan towered in the doorway, his beard wild and eyes shadowed by years of solitude. Folks in the valley whispered about him, a recluse who carved out a living trapping furs and fending off wolves, a man who'd lost his own family to the mountain's cruelty long ago. He rarely spoke to anyone, let alone offered help. Eliza expected rejection, or at best, a gruff nod for a shallow grave. But as she knelt there, tears freezing on her cheeks, Harlan's gaze softened in a way that sent a shiver through her not born of the cold. "Stand up, woman," he rumbled, his voice like gravel underfoot. "I ain't buryin' your boy just yet." Eliza's heart plummeted. Was this cruelty? Had the mountains hardened him so much that he'd deny even this final mercy? She rose unsteadily, cradling her son's cold form, ready to turn away into the unforgiving wilderness. But Harlan stepped aside, gesturing her into his dimly lit cabin. The air inside was thick with the scent of wood smoke and herbs, and shelves lined with jars of salves and dried roots hinted at skills beyond mere survival. "Lay him by the fire," Harlan instructed, his tone brooking no argument. Confused and desperate, Eliza obeyed, watching as the man knelt beside the boy, his massive hand surprisingly gentle as he checked for signs of life she knew were gone. As the fire crackled, Harlan began to speak, his words unfolding like a long-buried map. He told of his own loss, a wife and daughter taken by the same fever years back, when he'd been too stubborn to seek help from the valley folk. "I buried em myself," he said, voice thick with regret, "in shallow earth, thinkin' solitude was strength. But it ain't. It's a cage." Eliza listened, her grief mingling with his, realizing this gruff giant carried wounds deeper than any scar. In that moment, an unexpected turn gripped her. Harlan wasn't refusing her plea out of meanness, but because he saw in her boy the echo of his own pain. "Your son deserves more than dirt," he declared. "And so do you." What followed was a revelation that shook Eliza to her core. Harlan revealed he wasn't just a trapper. Hidden in his cabin were pouches of gold dust panned from secret streams over decades, wealth he'd hoarded in bitterness, convinced the world offered nothing but loss. But gazing at the boy's pale face, a profound realization dawned on him: the power of humanity lay not in isolation, but in reek.